it's not just about Iran, is it? I think if you look at the condition of the Middle East at the moment, what we can see is actually Iran is the last domino, right? In terms of the Zionists and America to achieve what they want. So a simple way of thinking about it is look, we know that the Zionist state, this colonialist state was set up in the heart of the Muslim world, right?
Yeah.
And it was set up as a strategic base, first by the British and then later on adopted by the Americans. Okay. And this entity serves the West's objectives in the land, which is to keep the Muslims divided, keep them in turmoil, and basically protecting the interests of the West, but mainly the US in the region. So if you think of it like that, since its inception in 48, there has been resistance to its existence from day one. So, for this entity to be fully accepted into the region, not as a foreigner, but as something which is indigenous, it can't have resistance and it can't have people questioning its actual existence in terms of whether it exists or not, whether it has the right.
Mm.
So, one of the ways of the Zionists and Americans to achieve this is to make Israel the dominant power in the Middle East. So, what we can see is all the countries which held a stance of anti Israel, pro Palestine. And look, the reality is people like Saddam, people like Assad, they use this for their own political interests. However, that was their stance. Their stance was one which was we don't recognize this entity and we're for the Palestinian cause and we want to liberate this land for the Palestinians, right? That was their
Mm.
official
It
stance.
was.
And these countries had some might behind them. They weren't failed states, right? Okay,
Mm.
they were dictatorships. However, I mean, if you look at Iraq in the 70s and the 80s, certainly in the 70s, it was one of the best countries in the world in terms of literacy, in terms of GDP,
Yeah.
in terms of the way the economy was, right? So if you look at from then till now, you see Syria finished, Iraq finished, Libya finished, right?
Mm.
The only country now that's left in the region, which, look, I don't think that the Iranians are doing it for Palestine. They use it for their own political gains. However, they still are openly against Israel and
Yeah.
they are still pro Palestine, right? They are the last country that's left, which is seen as a resistance country. By taking them out, all you are left with is normalization and Abrahamic Accords.